Hello writers, today for Open Mic we're going to be using Google Docs and our Google Drive accounts for giving our CTAG feedback to our fellow writers as they read at Open Mic. So first of all, once you have your Chromebook and have logged into your account, you can open up a browser in Google Chrome and go to drive.google.com, or the easiest way to do it is to click on the grid that brings up your icon list. Once you have done that, that should bring up a list of the apps, and you can go to Google Drive that way as well. Once you are in your Google Drive account, you want to create a document for listing all the feedback you want to give to your fellow writers today. So you are in your My Drive now. You will go over to Create and create a document. Although I do highly recommend that you keep folders for organizing all the work that you do in Google Drive, not just for this class, but for all your other classes as well. So like I have down here several different folders for all my different classes and for different purposes. You can create folders within your folders as well. Isn't it a wonderful world? As you can see here, I have several different folders for different work that we've done in this class alone, including the last time we used the Chromebooks for providing feedback using our CTAGs during Open Mic. So I'm going to create a new folder for all the documents that you're going to share with me, and I'm going to rename that folder Open Mic and today's date, which is 12/12/14. And I'm going to open that folder and create my document for today in that folder. So anything I create in that folder will automatically be put in there. Now when you create your document, I want you to share it with me right away. And that way you can rename your document. Because there's nothing more unpleasing to the eye than to see a document that's just called Untitled Document. So go to File, Share, or you can click on the blue Share button over here. Either one will prompt you to rename your document before you share it. So, first of all, once you rename it, I want everybody to save all documents that you submit to this class with your last name first. Not mine, but this is my document. The name of the assignment, Open Mic CTAG, and the date of the assignment. And once you click Save, then it will prompt you to share it with somebody. So I'm not going to share it with myself, but I want you to share it with me first. I am the first one, Daryl Myers, dmyers at pvsdcamarillo.org. So you will click on that once you've created your document. You always want to give me can edit privileges. After you shared it with me initially, you want to share it with somebody else, only give your fellow classmates can comment or can view. Can comment is probably best, especially when we're doing collaboration. But for today, you can do can view because you're not going to be collaborating on your feedback with each other. But you can do all of that after you share it with me. So I never know what happens when I click send and share it with myself. It disappears somewhere, but at least I know I have it here. Okay, so now I'm ready to create my chart that I want to give so I can organize all my feedback I'm going to give to the fellow writers as they read it during Open Mic today. The easiest way to do this is by creating a table. That way I can keep it much more organized that way. So I'm going to click on Table, Insert Table, and I'm going to create a long one. So I'm going to do 3 columns, because that way I can have enough for the person's name, what they'll be sharing with us during Open Mic today, and a space for my feedback. And I'm just going to drag down on the rows to insert a long table. Now I wish all the writers could read, this many writers could read today, but if I need to later delete the tables, I will show you how to do that. If I need to delete the rows, I will show you how to do that. 18 should be enough. I don't know if we've ever had 18 people read during Open Mic, but in a perfect world, that'll happen someday. Maybe in my utopia, or my rightopia. And once I have enough rows and columns, I just click on the box and it automatically inserts it for me. Okay, in the first one, I want you to label each heading, each row, with the heading what will go there. In the first one, you will insert the name of the writer. So just write the word name. The second column will be where you will write down what they're going to share with us today after they announce it during Open Mic. So I will write down shared writing. And lastly is where you will give your CTAG. Now let's do a quick review of what CTAG again stands for. Not that you need to, of course, but just in case. I mean, after all, we have been doing Open Mics all year. 1C is for, again, connection. I did switch that one around a little bit from earlier in the year. So a connection is where you make a personal connection. Either something that the person read reminded you of something in your own life, like maybe a character who acted away from somebody that you know. It could be remind you of something that you've read in another book, a movie, a connection to history, anything. That's just, again, you make a personal connection to either your personal life, something you've read, something you've seen, or something you thought about before. 2 is to tell them something that you like. It could be a line, like your golden line. It could be just, again, the way they described something. It could be the way the character acted. It could be a surprise twist in their story. It could be something clever or witty that they said. Again, just something that you liked, as long as, again, you're specific in your feedback. A, again, is for ask a question. So don't just say ask a question like, why did you write it? Again, the more specific you are, the better. So if they didn't finish something, and you might want to ask them, what do you plan on doing to end this scene? Or why did you describe the character as doing this or that? It wasn't quite clear why they behaved a certain way that they did. Or where did you set the story? I couldn't really tell where it took place. Questions, again, that are specific are much more helpful. And finally, the last one is G, which is for give a suggestion or give a piece of advice, a way that they could improve their writing. Again, it should be specific, not just, again, you need to make it better. That's not very specific at all. It should be something, again, like you should add dialogue, because it's very important to have dialogue in a narrative, or you need to add more specific details, like, for example, imagery to the story so the setting becomes clearer in the reader's mind. Or you need to give reasons for your opinion if you're writing like evaluating judge, or if you're writing a persuasive. Again, something specific. And you'll notice all of them are very specific. Each one needs to be something, again, that the writer can use to make their writing better if they need to. Whether it's a connection, again, tell them something that you like, ask a question, or again, give a suggestion. Okay, just some last minute things. Again, Mr. Myers likes to have everything look all nice and neat, so this is completely unnecessary. You don't have to do this for this assignment. This is just, again, so I can check to see if you're giving helpful and specific feedback to your fellow writers. But if you want to put each heading in its own centered in its column, you can just highlight the text and click on, again, the center button. Unfortunately, you have to do that for each column. And this looks like it's not going to be too much different than it was before. Okay, I also like to have it bold. So I'm going to highlight the text again, click on B, or I can also do Control B. And I'm going to also adjust the column. So if I click on it until I see the cross icon pop up, then I can drag them. I'm going to make the CTAG column a little bit wider because that's where most of my text will go. Most of my comments will be, again, a little bit lengthier. Probably the shared writing too. And most likely I can make the name one a little bit smaller. Now you don't have to do any of this really, because when you type into the box for the person who's reading, as you can see, it makes it bigger. All of the rows bigger, depending on how much you type. Okay, that's some strange gibberish language, so I'm going to delete that. So remember, when your fellow writers come up to read, you will write their name down, the name of the writing that they're sharing. So I will just put, let's see, how about the laws? I'm sure a lot of people will be sharing their laws that they created as the king, queen, or whatever interesting title that they gave themselves. And then, of course, one of your CTAGs. Now remember, you only have to give one of the 4. You do not have to give all 4, unless you really want to, because you're a very helpful fellow writer. Okay, Writers for Life, I'm looking forward to our open mic today and all the support you're going to give to your fellow writer.